let's get a bit of a sense of what's in the news, and you see that on your TV screen during the break. The immediate past Comptroller General of Nigeria Customs Service, according to the Punch newspapers, has reportedly returned 1.040 billion naira in cash to the federal government. The immediate past head of the customs has been accused of diverting an estimated 40 billion naira of government money between 2009 and 2015, when he was the head of the Nigeria Customs Service. Mentioned reportedly or allegedly belonging to the former Comptroller General, Abdullahi Dikko, worth about 2 billion naira, is also being seized. That mention is reportedly located in Abuja. Meantime, this looks like the state of accounts of Nigeria's national oil corporation called the NNPC. Let's give you the headlines as they've been reported today. 127.7 billion naira headline loss for the first 8 months of 2016. In August, the loss narrowed down or contracted from 24.18 billion to 11.22 billion, and that means that between July and August, the NNPC was able to claw back previous losses in the region of another 11 billion naira. Meantime, good news: pipeline vandalization was down by 28% between July and August 2016. 28.94%. That was the figure NNPC reported. Loss from the headquarter operations of the oil corporation, 76.3 billion. From the 4 refineries, the NNPC reported 48.69 billion naira in operational losses. In total, for the first 8 months, the NNPC says the sum of 1.14 trillion naira was spent, and that includes salaries and wages or whatever. But that's the figure. And crude output for Nigeria, 1.6 million barrels per day in the month of July. Nigeria has gotten its first tranche of the $1 billion first part of the loan promised by the African Development Bank under Dr. Akinwumi Adesina. The EFDB board in Ivory Coast yesterday approved the first tranche, $600 million. We have a balance of $400 million. The report says the EFDB will watch how Nigeria spend this money. If we have some fiscal restraints and discipline, then we might as well get the balance of $400 million. So the money we got is coming at 1.2% interest. The total package that the EFDB plans for Nigeria will be as high as $10 billion over the next 5 years. And that will go into various sectors. So look at the Nigeria's exports and how much gains exporters should be making, but they also say they got problems with the FX. Of course, when your currency depreciates or devalue, if you do exports, then you get more money because you export in stronger currency. When you draw that down, you make more money, bring it back home. But it's not as simple as it sounds. Let's listen to some of the comments made a few days ago by the Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer at Nigeria Export Promotion Council, Segun Awolowo, who believes that Nigeria's non-oil exports drive should be zero on oil.
Now, on the area of coordination, no, there's a lot of coordination going on. Under the economic management team headed by the Vice President, our ministers attend. When they need us, they call us. We sit down, we talk on this. So these are the challenges we are saying to CBN. Look, you need to get this foreign exchange out for my exporters. They need this, they need this. And they say, okay, no, because of this. Now, let me state from the outset that the government is struggling to try and work out macroeconomic policies, like Bismarck said before, because of the external shocks to the system. First, you have to understand the shocks that the country faced. He tried to explain it, but let me put it bluntly to you. 2014, you earned $70 billion from oil. You had revenue. Your import bill was $50 billion. So you were okay. Yeah, so you could pay off that and you still had money. By 2015, you earned $40 billion. Shortfall of $30 billion. Now, no nation existing can even survive this collapse. But you have Nigeria trading to, and I say to people, I say it's your informal economy. it's your informal trade. It's that sector that is still keeping the economy alive. So you must understand that. So government now comes and says, okay, first thing, need to grab this, my foreign exchange. Good. Restriction. This, you can't use foreign exchange for this. They have a list of that, etc., etc. Okay, the challenge is that you now have some problems with manufacturing because it affects some raw materials, like our friend said. But what we are saying, government, that, okay, you have looked at the demand, but if you are not talking about the supply, then there is a problem. And the only way to grow that supply of foreign exchange, there are 4 ways. Foreign direct investment, we've heard about it. We know all the challenges faced. Nigeria, at one point, was the highest recipient of FDI in Africa. So we had it. But FDI that has come to Nigeria has come to the financial service, it has come to telecommunications, it has come to chase oil, and that's what the CBN, the special advisor, told you. So then when there's a problem, that's when you have capital flight. The money disappears. Another one is loan. You don't want to borrow too much because our debt to GDP is not too bad for a country. That's why IMF, World Bank says, come and borrow. Come and borrow because your debt to GDP is okay for the size of your economy and size of your nation. Okay, but you don't want to borrow too much because later it's servicing those payments